what's the first thing that kind of struck you about the differences in how things work in Germany from the States?
But sort of the mentality, I think, at least as an American living in Germany, is that there's an expectation that the government will help you if you're in trouble, that your
Mhm.
employer will help you, and that there's not really a need to try to gain financial independence because the safety net is so big, encompasses everyone, and is supposedly always going to be there. I don't know if that's the case, but that's kind of the perception, is that it's going to be there. Whereas I kind of feel like in the United States, at least the way I grew up was, um, there was an encouragement to take bigger risks and to kind of not need that assistance. And then you have the freedom to do what you want. You can travel around the world, you can buy as many houses as you want, or you can just not worry, and not feel like you have to have a job because you uh, were wise early on or got lucky early on. There are a bunch of different ways to do it, as you know. But the mentality is just kind of different. Germans
Yeah,
don't
100.
haven't really thought about investing in financial independence. I don't talk about it that much with them. They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I had exactly the same experience. I mean, I didn't when I was living in Germany and Austria. It was before I kind of discovered the fire movement. But I was investing myself. But I I haven't met anyone that invests from that kind of. So there's two things. I think, of course, there are Germans that invest, of course, but in the field that we work, those musicians, it's not something that is talked about. And then I remember we started having conversations. I was like, "Oh my gosh, John invests! Yes, this is amazing." And we've had loads of conversations since about, well, just because we our lives are somewhat similar, but going back to that idea of what they call the Fest contract, a fixed contract in Germany, for us singers, that is incredibly rare. So in the States, in the UK, well, most European countries, these kind of positions are rare, but in Germany, every theater, most theaters have some kind of fixed fest system. So it's a big kind of change in the culture, isn't it?
Very much so. And I actually, one of my favorite moments was when I was on the train going from Freiburg to Nuremberg, where I was doing some guesting, fortunate enough to, and I happened to sit across from an older guy who struck up a conversation with me, and he was a German fellow, but a retired engineer who had worked and run development for a company in the States, and he like immediately wanted to talk about investing. He said, Germans don't know how to invest. They don't think about it. I wouldn't have done it if the United States and Americans hadn't taught me how to do it. And he said, and because of that, I'm retired. And guess what I'm doing right now? I'm on the way to go have a vacation with my grandkids, and I'm going to do it again next month. I'm going to take them to theme parks, resorts, hotels, and stuff. He said, no one here even thinks about that. He said, so I have to thank you and your uh, fellow patriots for teaching me how to do that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have.
Wow, that's an amazing story. Like, what a coincidence that would just happen. Like, what a strange conversation on a train.
Yeah, and then
But I
we
think
just
that
hopped off
that's
and grabbed a Big Mac together. He was like, "I want to eat McDonald's in celebration of American investment," which I thought was pretty funny.
who would have thought, celebrating American culture and investments with a Big Mac. There we go. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also, if you have your own comments or thoughts about investing in Germany, then do let me know in the comments below. Look forward to seeing you for the next video. Take care. Bye now.